Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 12 based on novel. So let's start. Xiaoronqi sat there blankly, tears streaming down her face. Xiaoqi, what's wrong? Mo Li Feiyan suddenly woke up completely when he saw his friend crying, and asked hurriedly, what happened? My father is dead. Xiaoronqi said blankly. When her father was alive, she was a noble lady from a big family, and she made friends with the children of the big families in Huyang City. She even looked down on the ordinary eternal true gods. She wanted to become the disciple of the strongest, Devil Li Xiao commander in Huyang City. As a second choice, she also wanted to become the disciple of Lord Luo, who had the ability to suppress the dark forces. Xiaoronqi was reluctant to choose her father, an ordinary eternal true god who was good at refining medicine. But when her father died and left her a way out in his message before his death, she found it a little too much to bear. Father. Xiaoronqi knew very well that her father was the closest relative in the world who loved her the most and was willing to give everything for her. Yangbo is dead? Mo Li Feiyan couldn't believe it. How is it possible? Yangbo is the eternal true god. Who killed him? He was indeed killed. A sigh was heard. It was from the current ruler of the Mo Li clan, Mo Li Meng. As for Mo Li Xiao, he did not have the energy to manage the family affairs. Father. Mo Li Feiyan looked at his father. Just now, all the creatures in the cave where the main branch of the Jiaorong clan was located were killed, leaving no one alive. Mo Limeng said, now only a few branches of the Jiaorong clan are left. The size of the caves was limited, so some large tribes had to disperse, especially the marginal branches, who could only live in some ordinary caves. This time, it was the core of the Jiaorong tribe that was wiped out. Father, who is the murderer? Mo Li Feiyan asked. Xiaoronqi also looked at Mo Limeng. Mo Limeng said, before Xiaorongyan died, he must have contacted many friends through the cause and effect communication order, saying that the murderer was the Blood Python Guild President Mu Yang. My father also sent me a message, saying that the murderer was the Blood Python Guild leader. Xiaoronqi said hoarsely, the entire cave, including my father, has killed tens of thousands of people, from the eternal true god to the young children in the tribe. No one was spared. With the solid evidence sent by my father himself, the city lord's mansion should take action, right? Mo Limeng shook his head. President Blood Python is not an ordinary eternal true god. He commands a force. Killing him is not an easy task. It also requires discussion among the 5 major families before a decision can be made. Moreover, your father sent a message before his death, which is not conclusive evidence. It is entirely possible that the murderer disguised himself as President Blood Python. Disguise? Xiaoronqi was anxious. You can't believe the message my father sent before his death. Some secret disguises are hard for the eternal true god to see through, Mo Limeng said. In short, it's hard to completely identify the murderer and get the city lord's mansion to take action. Xiaoronqi was silent. After your father died, his many businesses, including the caves and shops for refining medicine, etc., are difficult for you, avoid true god, to control. Mo Limeng shook his head. My Mo Li clan can help take over. Father. Mo Li Feiyan spoke anxiously. Don't worry, I won't take advantage of you. These properties are estimated to be worth 20,000 cosmic sands and will be stored in the Yangfeng Hall in your name, Xiaoronqi. Mo Limeng said, it is not suitable for you to carry too much cosmic sand on you. Thank you, Mr. Meng. Xiaoronqi said gratefully. She knew that this price was definitely not low. In the entire Huyang city, there are only a handful of people who are confident of killing the Blood Python Guild leader. Mo Limeng said, so if you want to kill him, you need to be patient enough and wait for the right opportunity. Xiaoronqi asked, Commander Mo Li, can you help me? I don't even need these 20,000 cosmic sands. It's not as simple as you think. Mo Limeng turned and left. Xiaoqi, just live with me, no one can threaten you. Mo Li Feiyan said. Xiaoronqi said softly, Feiyan, I want to be quiet. Okay, I won't disturb you. Mo Li Feiyun got up and left. Jiao Rongqi sat here alone, staring blankly at the night sky, at the countless twinkling stars in the night sky. Just now, the star that belonged to her father had also completely dimmed. Father. Jiao Rongqi missed her father so much at this moment, and then her eyes became crazy. Jiao Rongqi contacted the Dark Hall of Yangfeng Guild Hall remotely through a communication order. Jiao Rongqi, your father Jiao Rongyan died, and he left you 30,000 cosmic sands in the Dark Palace. And Mo Lemeng also deposited 20,000 cosmic sands for you. You now have 50,000 cosmic sands in your name. The Dark Palace responded to her. I will offer all 40,000 cosmic sands as a reward to Blood Python Guild President Mu Yang. Jiao Rongqi sent the message. She believed in her father's judgment of the murderer's identity before his death. Okay, the reward for President Blood Python has been increased to 160,000 cosmic sands. You still have 10,000 cosmic sands to your name. The Dark Palace responded. After Jiao Rongqi raised the reward, she could only wait silently. She hoped that someone strong would accept the reward and kill the Blood Python president. The Blood Python Society headquarters. Mo Lemeng, why are you here? The Blood Python president looked at Mo Lemeng with a smile. Mo Lemeng's face was gloomy. Are you crazy? Jiao Rongyan is concentrating on refining medicine, which is beneficial to the entire Huyang city, and he doesn't get involved in the fight with your dark forces. Why did you attack him? Your reckless behavior will only cause panic among many families in Huyang city. If the 5 major families think that you have affected the stability of the entire Huyang city, then you are finished. I didn't kill him. The murderer disguised me. President Shuomang said anxiously, the leader of the food nation, Shueyun, is very good at disguise. I suspect he was the one who disguised me. Jiao Rongyan determined that you were the murderer before he died. Mo Lemeng sneered, you are so incompetent that you can let the other party recognize your identity by doing things. It really wasn't me, said the Blood Python president. Everyone in Huyang City must abide by the rules. Mo Lemeng glanced at him and turned away. If you don't abide by the rules, you may not be able to bear the consequences. After saying this, Mo Lemeng disappeared and left. Blood Python Guild President Mu Yang looked at this scene and his expression calmed down. So what if I don't follow the rules? Humph, in this world, strength is everything. Blood Python Guild President Mu Yang sneered, I just killed one person, so what can the numerous families in Huyang City do? If you dare to attack me, you must be prepared to die. It's a pity that Jiao Rongyan is such a loser. Even after killing him and ransacking the entire cave, we only got 220,000 cosmic sands. The Blood Python Guild president shook his head. The eternal true god who ranks among the top 3 in alchemy in Huyang City should be rich enough, in my opinion. It's a pity that we only got this much. If it doesn't work, I can only use my armor treasure to offset it. The Blood Python president thought secretly, I must buy the lower part of the Iron Blood Sand method as soon as possible, otherwise if I delay too long, I will be completely trapped by the Food Kingdom, and then I won't be able to save my life. He knew very well how dangerous the conflict between the 5 major families and the Food Kingdom was. He was dragged into it for the sake of inheritance, and only wanted to obtain the inheritance as soon as possible and then fly away. The longer you delay, the more dangerous it is. We must collect 1 million cosmic sands as soon as possible. President Blood Python's eyes were cold. Time passes very slowly on the continent of origin, night passes and day comes. All the major forces in Huyang City knew about the death of Jiao Rongyan, and they also heard that the murderer might be the Blood Python President Mu Yang. The bounty of Blood Python President Mu Yang in the Dark Hall of Yangfeng Guild has reached 160,000 cosmic sands. My father had some good friends, but my father is dead, and none of them will help with the bounty. Jiao Rongqi and the Moli family has been checking the bounty. The bounty has not changed, and no one has completed the bounty mission. The 4th highest bounty is also the leader of the Dark Forces, named Chun Yui, and his bounty is 180,000 cosmic sands. He has lived well for many years. The bounty of the Blood Python Guild president is now 160,000 cosmic sands, ranking 5th. Who would kill him? Xiaoronqi looked at the bounty list again and again, hoping that the list would change. But after a long night, there was no change. Xiaoronqi only felt powerless. After her father's death, there was nothing she could do. Miss, Lord Luo, he has arrived at the Fire Realm restaurant. Suo Yun, who had been guarding the Fire Realm restaurant, sent the message. Luo he? Xiaoronqi's heart moved. Shangzuan Luo he just came to Huyang City and he didn't take the Blood Python Association seriously. He is definitely not afraid of the president of the Blood Python Association. The Blood Python Guild president was so famous that many forces were afraid of him. But it was clear that the Luo God Lord didn't care, which was why Xiaoronqi wanted to become his disciple immediately. Xiaoronqi stood up immediately. Xiao Qi. Mo Li Feiyan has always been worried about his friend. I want to go out immediately. Xiaoronqi said. It's not safe for you to go out now. Mo Li Feiyan was worried. It's daytime now, and there are true gods everywhere. It's still very safe. And I must go out. Xiaoronqi said. Mo Li Feiyan thought for a moment and said, I will arrange a guard team to take you there, and you can take my Mo Li family's flying boat. Thank you. Xiaoronqi expressed her gratitude and without thinking too much, she immediately rushed out. Fire Realm Restaurant. Your Excellency, my young lady has given instructions. All expenses of Your Excellency's stay at the Fire Realm Restaurant will be borne by my young lady. Suo Yun was extremely respectful. Luo Feng brought Morosa, Mo Yuqingyan and others with him. Have you been guarding here since I left the Fire Realm Restaurant last time? Luo Feng looked at Suo Yun. Yes, the young lady ordered it. Guard Suo Yun said. Thank your young lady for me. Luo Feng walked directly inside, and the owner of the Fire Realm Restaurant, Black Butcher, immediately came to greet him warmly. Inside the small building, Luo Feng and Morosa enjoyed the food and wine together, and the servant Mo Yuqingyang could only guard outside the small building, and Mo Yuqingyang guarded very seriously. It seems that the eldest daughter of Xiaorong's family really wants to become my disciple, said Morosa. Her father died last night. Luo Feng said. Dead? Morosa was surprised. I also heard it from a friend. Luo Feng said. After all, many forces had visited him and he had made some friends. Several eternal true gods, including En Qianyang, had informed him of the news. Luo Feng suddenly said, the leader of the hidden power of the food nation in Huyang City is called Xueyun, and his bounty is as much as 1 million cosmic sands. Kill him. Morosa's eyes lit up. But I can't find him. Luo Feng thought, do you have any way to find him? Morosa was born with the mastery of the origin of destruction. If Luo Feng didn't rely on the secret art of wool and the art of formation, he didn't think he could defeat Morosa. If I can't find the blood cloud, maybe there's hope for Morosa. I haven't seen him. Morosa frowned. If I had seen him once, I would have some way to find him. What a pity. Luo Feng shook his head. If he could kill Blood Cloud, the spoils and huge bounty he would obtain from him would be enough to cover the cost of killing a group of dark leaders. This would probably be enough to cover the resources he needed for his 3 body refinements. Unfortunately, I can't find him. Master. Mo Yuqingyan's voice came from outside. Xiaoronqi visits. She's here? Luo Feng looked at the Fire Realm banquet in front of him. Let her in. Mo Yuqingyang, who had been guarding the door carefully, finally made way and said, the master lets you in. Xiaoronqi glanced at the young true god and entered the small building alone. Inside the small building, Xiaoronqi immediately saw Luo Feng and Morosa sitting there eating delicious food and drinking wine. Xiaoronqi pays homage to His Majesty. Xiaoronqi knelt down respectfully with her head touching the ground. Let's talk about business. Luo Feng poured himself a glass of wine leisurely. My father was killed, and tens of thousands of lives in the entire cave, including children, were all killed. Xiaoronqi knelt down. I only hope to avenge my father and all the lives in the entire cave who died. I asked the City Lord's mansion to kill the murderer, but the City Lord's mansion remained unmoved. I increased the reward for the Dark Hall of the Flame Wind Guild Hall, hoping that someone would be willing to take action. But I waited all night, and no strong person took action. I know that your Majesty is not afraid of the Blood Python Society, so I come to beg your Majesty, hoping that your Majesty can accept the bounty mission and kill the president of the Blood Python Society. Xiaoronqi begged in a hoarse voice. Luo Feng and Morosa both looked at her. What do you want to ask me for? Luo Feng asked, this banquet you invited me to? Xiaoronqi knelt down and whispered, I can't give anything. Almost all my wealth has been invested in the reward for the Dark Hall of Yangfeng Hall. Now there are only 10,000 cosmic sands left. I am willing to offer this 10,000 cosmic sands to the Supreme. I know that this amount of cosmic sand is too little for the Supreme Lord to help. But I have nothing left but my life. I am willing to sell myself to the Lord as a slave and serve him all my life. I have no other request but revenge. Xiaoronqi had tears in her eyes and her furry tail hung to the side. Luo Feng looked at her, sell yourself into slavery? Your father obviously made some arrangements for you. You also came here on the flying boat of the Moli clan today. You could have lived a carefree life. Now you want to give up everything and sell yourself into slavery just for revenge? Yes. Xiaoronqi knelt there without any hesitation. Even if I kill President Blood Python, your father cannot be resurrected. Are you going to give up a carefree life for a dead father? Luo Feng looked at her. The last time he saw the eldest lady of Jiaorong family, he could feel her arrogance, but now this eldest lady was completely different. Xiaoronqi knelt down and said, that's my father. The one who loved me the most in this world, the one who always protected and cherished me. In his last message before his death, he considered me in every way and arranged a way out for me. But my father who loved me the most is gone. The people of my clan that I have known since I was born are gone too. For revenge, I can do anything. No matter what. I will be willing to die. Xiaoronqi looked at Luo Feng. Your father sent you a message before he died, and arranged a way out for you. He should also hope that you can live a good life. Luo Feng said, you don't have to sell yourself into slavery. Keep the remaining 10,000 cosmic sands well, practice well, and live a good life as your father hoped. As for you asking me to help, I was planning to take a bounty mission anyway. President Blood Python should be my first bounty target. Luo Feng said. Xiaoronqi stared at Luo Feng in a daze. You can help me without any cosmic sand or selling yourself into slavery. I am willing to serve His Majesty. Xiaoronqi was extremely grateful. No need. Luo Feng shook his head gently. You should go back to the Moli clan first. Remember, this matter must be kept secret. Xiaoronqi nodded repeatedly. She certainly knew how to keep a secret. You will get the news before dark. Luo Feng waved his hand gently. You can go now. Thank you, Your Majesty. Xiaoronqi kowtowed heavily, then stood up and left. When Xiaoronqi walked out of the small building, she was very emotional. She saw Mo Yu Qing Yang standing guard at the door, but she felt a little envious. She wanted to serve as a slave, but the Supreme Lord did not accept her. Miss Suo Yun hurried over to greet her. Suo Yun, my father is dead, and the Jiaorong clan is finished. Xiaoronqi said, you don't have to be my bodyguard anymore. As she spoke, she stretched out her hand and patted Suo Yun's shoulder, and a jade bottle appeared inside Suo Yun's robe. Suo Yun was stunned and couldn't believe it. Xiaoronqi quickly left on the flying boat of the Moli clan. Is the Jiaorong clan finished? After all, Suo Yun had been guarding a small restaurant like the Fire Realm restaurant, so he was not well informed and did not know what happened last night. He sensed the small jade bottle with his divine power and was delighted. It's a full 500 chaos crystals. Miss is really generous. Even though he was quite talented, he only earned 10 chaos crystals for 1 decade as a guard in Jiaorong's house. This time, the young lady let him leave and gave him 500 chaos crystals, which was indeed a huge sum of money for a true god. he also understood that he was given so many chaos crystals because of his contributions. With these, I can purchase resources to refine my divine body and bloodline. Combined with the previous inheritance method, with my talent, I have every hope of becoming a true god of the void. Suo Yun thought to himself, his heart boiling, and he turned and left. At this time, the owner of the Fire Realm restaurant, Black Butcher, also saw Suo Yun leaving. This guard Suo Yun has been guarding my Fire Realm restaurant for a while. Has he finally left this time? Black Butcher thought. The eldest daughter of the Jiao family just now was also very strange. She usually brings her own guard team with her. But this time she took the flying boat of the Mo Li clan? The Black Butcher felt something was wrong. He had come to the origin continent through reincarnation and had been struggling in Huyang City until now, but he was still trapped in the Void True God realm. Naturally, he was not well informed and did not know about the destruction of Jiao family. Black Butcher? A scolding voice rang out, and the red-haired man Duan Moyin came to the Fire Realm restaurant with several of his men. Palace Master Duan. The fat Black Butcher greeted him warmly. As a member of the Law lineage, Black Butcher had been cultivating in the origin continent for a long time. In terms of strength, he was definitely the top level among the Void True Gods and could completely suppress Duan Moyin. But he did not dare to neglect him at this moment, because the other party was one of the Palace Masters of the Blood Python Society. It's really rare for Palace Master Duan to come to my snack bar. The Black Butcher said enthusiastically. Black Butcher? Duan Moyin said, I am here to convey an order. The Black Butcher asked in confusion, what order? The President has ordered that all businesses within our Blood Python Association's territory must pay a one-time offering fee of 100 centuries, Duan Moyin said. 100 epochs of offerings? The Black Butcher was shocked and asked anxiously, didn't we always pay 1 epoch each time before? I have never paid less for the offerings to the Blood Python Society. The rules have changed now. You have to pay a lump sum of 100 epochs. Once you pay this time, the next payment will be 100 epochs later. Duan Moyin smiled and said, will my Blood Python charge you more? The Black Butcher asked anxiously, but where can I get so much? This applies to all businesses within our Blood Python Association's territory. Duan Moyin said, you have 3 days to pay. If you don't pay, HMPH, you should know the consequences of disobeying the Blood Python Association. The Black Butcher looked grim. The news has been received, let's get ready quickly. Duan Moyin turned around and left with his men. Master, do we need to collect 100 centuries of offerings within 3 days? A disciple also asked worriedly. The Black Butcher shook his head slightly. Those merchants with backgrounds may not care about the Blood Python Society, but we are not qualified. If we dare not hand it over at this time, we will probably lose our lives quietly. Since the Blood Python Society has decided to collect 100 census offerings at once, they will definitely kill one person to warn the rest. Anyone who dares not to pay will be killed. The Black Butcher has survived in Huyang City to this day and knows very well what to do and what not to do. But even though he understood, he still felt aggrieved. Alas, it's so difficult to run a small restaurant in Huyang City. The Blood Python will collect 100 centuries of offerings, a voice sounded. The Black Butcher turned around and saw Luo Feng and Morosa approaching. Did the Supreme hear it? The Black Butcher said helplessly, it's the Blood Python Society's order. How can a small restaurant like us resist? This Blood Python Society is indeed a little crazy. Luo Feng nodded, luckily, I have dealt with them before. The Black Butcher muttered secretly. Deal with? Everyone in Huyang City knows that Lord Luo overpowered the Blood Python Society and forced it to pay 20,000 cosmic sands in compensation. I'll help you speak up when the time comes. I think the offering fee can be waived. Luo Feng said. This is really too much trouble for God. Black Butcher said that some merchants with backgrounds in Huyang City would not pay the offering fee. Only weak merchants like them could not resist. If Luo God helped to speak, the life of this snack restaurant would definitely be much better. My face should be of some use. Luo Feng said, and left with Morosa, Moyu Qingyang. The Black Butcher watched Luo Feng leave, full of joy. The Blood Python Society will never fight with Luo He Shangzuan for a snack bar of mine. Oh, if Shangzuan likes my snack bar, my life will be better in the future. Having a backer can help you avoid a lot of exploitation. Master, shall we go to the Blood Python Club now? Above the prosperous city of Fuyang, Mo Luosa's eyes were burning, and he was ready to move. However, Mo Yuqingyan, who was following him, was a little confused. Go to the Blood Python Association? Is it necessary to be so anxious for the Fire Realm restaurant? At this moment, Mo Yuqingyan still didn't know that Luo Feng was going to deal with the president of the Blood Python Association. Let's go now. Luo Feng nodded. Let's go. Luo Feng, along with his two servants, transformed into a blurry streak of light and headed straight for the Blood Python Society headquarters. Soon, the vast and majestic Blood Python Society headquarters appeared in the field of vision. Many Blood Python Society members could be seen scattered everywhere, and with the formation running, the power was terrifying. You two just stand guard outside, Luo Feng said, glancing at Morosa. Yes, master. Morosa responded, and at the same time reached out and grabbed Mo Yuqingyan. Mo Yuqingyan was a little confused. When the master visited the Blood Python Society, shouldn't the servants follow and serve him? At the same time, Morosa telepathically transmitted, Master, don't worry. Even if the Blood Python Guild leader is cunning and escapes, I can intercept him. Just watch, I can deal with him. Luo Feng replied telepathically and flew towards the gate of the Blood Python Society headquarters. Please keep the corpse of the Blood Python Guild leader for me. Morosa telepathically transmitted the message, very greedy. The real corpse of the famous Blood Python Guild leader must be much better than Hidomo. Luo Feng had already flown to the gate of the Blood Python Association's headquarters at this moment. With the help of the communication order from the Dark Hall of the Yangfeng Guild, he instantly accepted the mission of assassinating the Blood Python Association's president Mi Yang. This video will end here.